Hi guys, Mr. Bennett here. Now in today's video we're going to be looking at reflections, alright? And the key formula or the matrix you need to know is the sine 2 theta, cosine 2 theta, sine 2 theta, as you can see here, alright? So everything, if you know that, you can derive most things from that. So let's look at a couple of examples. Now in your book you've been asked to fill out this table. Okay, I'm going to help you do that right now. Alright, so if you haven't been able to do that, then what we're looking at here. Alright, so the first thing is, if we have a reflection in the x-axis, that means there's a line here, alright, and so this is a reflection in the x-axis. Alright, so if we just know our point should be down here somewhere, and that's going to have the coordinates of x and minus y, isn't it? Alright, so let's put in there now, what's the angle from my x-axis? Well, it's 0. Okay, you double 0, what are you going to get? Well, if we have double 0, we know cosine of 0 is in fact equal to 1. Sine of 0 is equal to 0. Okay, and minus 1. So that's what we get from using our formula. Okay, if we times that by x and y, then what we'll get is, when our matrices multiplication, we get x times by 1 is x, 0 times y is, so the top one's going to be x, the bottom line's going to be 0 times x is 0, minus y times by, or negative 1 times y is negative y. So that works out nicely. Right, this next reflection we're going to do is in the y-axis. Okay, so we're going to reflection in y-axis. So if we were doing that, we would expect to have something over here, and that coordinate there is going to be negative x, y. Okay, now how far have we gone to reflect in the y-axis? Well, we've gone 90 degrees. So that's our theta. So 2 theta is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, so remember it's cosine, first of all. Okay, what's cosine of 180 degrees? Well, we know it's negative 1. Sine of 180 is 0. That's going to be 0, and that's going to be negative 1, which is going to be 1 there. Right, so if we times that by xy, then we're going to have equation that's going to be minus x times, minus 1 times by x plus 0 times y is going to be minus x. Having trouble writing here. Alright, so that's going to be minus x, and then we're going to have 0 times x, 1 times by y is going to give us y. So that is our rotation, that's our reflection in the y-axis. So they are the two main ones. Now, the next bit we're going to be looking at, what's going to be the reflection in this line going through the origin, and that's the line where y equals x. Okay, so we can do the same thing there. So what's this angle here with that line? Well, that angle there is 45 degrees. So therefore 2 theta is going to be 90 degrees. Right, remember we're using cosine of 2 theta. So in our matrix over here, what's cosine of 2 theta? Well, cosine of 90 is in fact 0. Sine of 90 is 1. Sine of 90 is 1, and that's going to be 0. So if I times that by xy, remember x and y are values like 2 and 1 or whatever. Alright, so if I was going to do that, 0 times x is 0, 1 times by y is going to give me y, isn't it? Okay, and then 1 times by x, 0 times y is going to give me x. That's what's going to happen. And then we can also do the same thing, and that could be that this line here, and that's going to be equal to y is equal to minus x. By the way, what that means over here is that's going to be reflected over here. What it's saying is the x coordinate is going to be what the y value is. right? And the y coordinate is going to be what the x value is. So if you could imagine that being, say, a point, say, over here 2, 2, 1, then this point over here is equal to 1, 2. All right, got the idea? So here we've got this other, the final thing. Now what we're saying here is y is equal to minus x, is my point. Okay, again, what's our angle that we're going across here? Well, that angle there is 45 degrees still in that point there, so this angle here is 135 degrees. That's what theta is equal to. So 2 theta is equal to 270 degrees. That would mean that we're really on this axis here. Okay, so if you think about 270 degrees, we know that point down there is 0, -1. So we know cosine of that is equal to 0, sine's equal to -1, and cosine's equal to 0. All right, I'm going to times that by x and y. And so therefore that's going to be, when we times that, it's going to be minus y. 0 times x, minus 1 times y. Minus 1 times by x is minus x. 0 times y, so that's going to be minus there. All right, so that's what it's saying over here. That's going to be minus y minus x. So let's pick a point as an example. Let's say we had the point over here 2, 3. Then this point over here is going to be minus 3 minus 2. Okay, so that's how we do reflections using the x, the y-axis, and the 45-degree ones. Now there is another video I'm going to do which is looking at what happens if it's not one of those nice lines. Okay, and we're going to go through the theory of that in our next video.